Shalom, friends. It's the Carnivore Rabbi here, as always, to meet, pray, and love together. And it's raining outside, so I came into my Still in Formation YouTube studio. The channel has grown so much in the last month. I was lucky enough to have a couple of good friends who are videographers who helped me set up this space. And there's going to be some more artwork on the walls soon. And it's in formation, lots of great lighting. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But expect many more interviews and recordings from this space. And I'm thrilled about it. I'm very lucky. So what is the biggest issue new carnivores face? You might expect it's giving up favorite foods, fries or ice cream. Perhaps it's the diarrhea that often accompanies the increase in fat in the first few months. It's not fun, first few weeks really. All of this can be true. But I have found, based on conversations, once you get through the first few weeks, the hardest part of the carnivore diet is not eating enough. Now, I know this sounds strange, especially for people who come to lose weight. Eating enough. Aren't I supposed to be eating less if I want to lose weight? Calories in, calories out, right? That's what we've always been taught. But the calories in and calories out model is way too simplistic. Bart Kay talks a lot about this. Calories matter, of course, but so do the type of calories you have. And our metabolism is flexible. We're going to be digesting meats much differently than vegetables or fruits or carbs, starches. So what this all means, and of course, I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, and this is different for different people, but what I experienced and what is common is when you eat only meat, you will get incredibly satiated, and you will not feel like eating more. Now, if you exercise, you might, but if not, you will likely feel full for much longer than usual. And this can be bad. Why is that? We need to keep our metabolism up, and our body needs nutrients to do that. This is why Dr. Chafee doesn't recommend fasting. He says it can be useful, but he doesn't recommend it. But let's set aside the science of nutrition for a minute to what the real cause is. We've been told for years and years that meat is bad and unhealthy. And then, on the carnivore diet, we discover how nourishing it is. But we still have remnants, fragments of that old programming. So we hesitate to do too much of it. We don't eat too much. And even more, we've been told for so long the way to lose weight to be healthier is to eat fewer calories. That programming is deep. So we naturally stop, especially since we're feeling much more full when we eat more nutritious food. But then here's what happens. When we don't eat enough, especially at mealtime, we start snacking. And then we get tempted by carbs. The most important part of the early carnivore journey is not to eat any carbs at all and to reduce that temptation. And when we don't eat enough at meals, we are more tempted. It's happened to everybody. We are, in essence, reprogramming our body at the beginning of carnivore. So it's better to overdo the meat we eat rather than eat too little. Err on the side of more satiated than less. And this can feel very counterintuitive. And some people may even gain weight in the first few months of carnivore. That's why Old Guy Carnivore, who I just interviewed, says you shouldn't use the scale at all during the first month. But we are returning our body to its natural state. That's the state of being nourished by meat, of the right balance of hormones, nutrients, energy levels. That's our goal. And by the way, if you like what I'm saying and hearing and learning, please subscribe. We need all the carnivore reinforcement we can get when we're taking on this industrial nutrition establishment. Thank you. One word I like to use in describing the state that we're aiming for is equanimity. Equanimity. That's a word we typically associate with the mind. Calm, balanced, responds and reacts appropriately. And that's what carnivore does to our body. It restores a sense of equanimity. And to get there, we have to reverse those earlier extremes. And then once we get there, we strive to preserve that balance. That's much easier than restoring it. So in the first few months, we're restoring that balance. We're on a journey of healing to restore our equanimity. And once we get there, and I know many of my viewers have been carnivore for several months, a couple people I know a few years, it's maintaining that equanimity. And you'll have ups and downs, but especially at the beginning, eat more meat. When you're hungry, eat more meat. When you're tempted by carbs, eat more, especially fatty meat. That reduces our cravings, and ultimately, counterintuitively, it also lets us get to our proper weight, proper equanimity, proper balance.